Hello everyone and welcome to a double review looking at the bank holiday weekend, Maystone's last two games in which they did manage to pick up 6 points. A great time for celebration of course, but it's going to be very short-lived as we're only a few days away from the next game. But looking back at this weekend, we did end up playing Torquay at home and winning 1-0 there, our first clean sheet of the season. We'll get into that shortly, but we also managed to win yesterday on Bank Holiday Monday 3-1 versus Aldershot Town on the road, a relegation candidate. But it's these sort of games that you want to stamp your authority, win by a couple goal margin, and we did just that. So we'll get into those games, and let's start off with Torquay at home. So taking a look back at Torquay the other day on Saturday, of course, it was a very cagey affair, a tale of two halves as most people have seemed to note it down as. And in that first half, it was pretty much all Torquay's game. They started really well off, a good couple of chances in the first 5 minutes, but Yusuf Mersin did exceptionally well to save them. Yusuf Mersin has faced a significant amount of criticism in recent weeks, shipping 11 goals in 4 games. A lot of people kind of putting that blame down on him. I've been a pretty staunch defender of him, kind of going by, well, if you actually look back at the goals, is anybody that we've got saving those goals? Probably not. If you look back at his saves, is anyone that we've got saving every shot that he saved? Maybe not. So for me, I've been quite happy with Mersin so far this season. I think he has been very unfortunate, especially to concede 9 goals in the 2 games before Torquay. But in this game, he kept a clean sheet, and I see it coming. Torquay are a significantly weaker opposition than the 2 teams that we just come off the back of facing. Wrexham, of course, tipped for the league title, probably the best attack in the league, if not Notts County. But then you've got Dorking as well, an incredibly attacking team, a team in which we did end that game with 10 men, conceded a penalty, all of the above, different reasons as to why Mersin may have conceded that many goals, and I don't think he's played particularly badly, so it's great to see him keep a clean sheet in this game, and I believe he was the reason we won this game. It could have easily been 2 or 3 goals for Torquay in that first half, in my opinion, and the opinion of some of the people that I've been speaking to. But Yusuf Mersin's ability to come off his line incredibly quickly and meet attackers coming into the box is exceptional, and it saved us a good couple of goals, in my opinion, in that Torquay game. There was opportunities that were given away, unfortunately, by Cody Leons-Foster, his debut for the club. The loan, of course, of Cody Leons-Foster coming just before that game on Saturday. And unfortunately, he did have a bit of a rocky start to the game. First 20 minutes or so, gave away a couple of opportunities, which were fantastically cleared up by Mersin and the rest of the defence. So, props to Mersin, debatably man of the match in that game. Really did save us a good couple of opportunities in that game. But for me, another couple of standout players were Rory Deacon. No surprises there. He's been fantastic this season. I've been told he's top assister in the league. I think he got 3, maybe 4 now after that Torquay game. And what he's doing off the left-hand side is absolutely fantastic. It's not where he regularly played last season, but playing on the left, it's giving him that ability to cut in, as we saw Luke do last season, and he's getting shots off. He absolutely peppered the Torquay goalkeeper in this game. I think he had 4 shots at the near post after cutting in and beating his man on the left. And then we saw, of course, that assist for that James Alabi goal, in which he did get that opportunity to pass out to the left-hand side. Alabi finding himself in the position that Deacon had been in pretty much all game, and getting an incredible shot off into the far corner to secure the victory after a substitution from the hack. So some inspired substitutions in that game. We also saw, despite the fantastic performance of Yusuf Mersin and Rory Deacon, Regan Booty having a fantastic game as well. His passing range in that game was immaculate, all over the pitch, covering grass, not all over the place in a bad way, all over the place in terms of doing really well, great engine, covering every blade of grass on the pitch, and a fantastic performance from him as well. But for me, I think I'm going to give man of the match to Rory Deacon on that one. And then Bhivesh Gurung as well. A bit of a surprise, really, Bhivesh Gurung in that game. His first start, I think, for the club in a competitive league match. That's even off the back of last season. I think he made 5 appearances, but I don't think he made any starts last year. I might be wrong in the league, but dropped in at the deep end. A really important game for us, a game that we would have looked at before it and thought this has to be 3 points. You're not going to get much more of an opportunity than a poor, slow starting Torquay side at home this early on the season off the back of those 2 losses. And you know what? He did really well. He did do really well. There was no moments in that game where I thought, oh God, he's given that ball away in a poor position, or he's missed out on a challenge which has let someone through, or he's missed a really easy opportunity in front of goal. So just doing the basic stuff, doing the simple things, especially in the National League, is going to get you quite far in this game. And fortunately for Bivesh Gurung, he's good at the simple things. He's very good at the simple things, and he is starting to add a little bit more to his game as well. He is a runner. He is someone who gets around the pitch very well, covers a lot of the pitch, can get stuck into a challenge. He's still very young, but that doesn't stop him from competing against very big players in duels and, intercepting play as well, cutting across in front of players and nicking that ball away from them. He's got a decent passing range as well, good little intricate passes. He's got a little bit of flair as well, a few turns and spins and flicks that we saw in the last couple of games, which I'll get onto, but really impressed from him. It can't be easy being dropped in, especially when you've probably been told at the start of the season that you're going to have Dom Odesanya and Henry Woods in front of you. But of course, the suspension to Sam Corn and of course Henry Woods maybe not hitting the ground running, as a lot of people seem to be saying, has given Bivesh this opportunity to shine, and he's impressed, and that showed in the next game against Aldershot, where he did start there as well. But just back to Torquay, final thoughts on that. Very happy with the result. A little bit lucky at times to not concede, but can't really be lucky when the goalkeeper does his job and does it as well as Yusuf Mersin did in that game. So for me, great performance there. And we were unlucky not to score a couple more as well. We did have a few opportunities down that left with Deacon, as I said. So, promising signs going into Aldershot on Bank Holiday Monday. As I said, another win there. 3-1 victory on the road. And I do believe that's our first away win of the season. Let me just think. Who have we played away on the road this season? We played Aldringham away. We drew that game. We played Wrexham on the road. We lost that game, of course. So, yeah, our first away win of the season. Of course, got to be happy with that. 3-1 victory as well. And the manner we did it was absolutely electrifying on the day. Myself was down there with Nigel, who you've probably seen on the podcast, and Connor, who's been mentioned on the podcast, also someone who's part of the Stones Live commentary team. We was down there with a couple other friends and stuff, so great atmosphere. There was 408 away supporters, so travelled in great numbers and great voice as well. Shout out to the drummer there. I hope you get some sort of honorary scholarship in whatever musical department you want to go into, because it was fantastic. Really set the standard for the rest of the fans in terms of supporting the team, getting behind the team throughout the game. It was a very tough first half. It did look like it was going to really end in a 0-0. I do remember speaking to some people at half time and saying, I don't really know where the goals are going to come from. We're not really getting into the box. Barham's getting involved, but he's having to drop deep to try and get involved in the link-up play, and then we're shipping it out to the wings, and by the time we get it into the box, he hasn't made it back in there. And yeah, it was a really difficult first half. A good couple of chances from an Aldershot perspective, actually. Effiong had a good couple chances as well, but could not finish his dinner for the life of him. Again, Yusuf Mersin coming out, making some decent saves. We did see a reintroduction of Jack Corley because Leon Foster was not eligible to play in this game. So, again, a little bit of miscommunication at times. There's one ball that has been played in the last 2 games, which I think Aldershot must have picked up on from the Torquay game. But it does come out from the width, and it is diagonally played, just a straight line over the top from the diagonal, straight down the middle of our 2 centre-backs. And that ball is on every time. And it worked out a couple times for Aldershot. Unfortunately, for them, they couldn't score from it. Effiong did not have a brilliant day at the office, really. A good couple chances for him, which was sorely missed from an Aldershot perspective. Justin Amaluza, of course, the ex-Stone, one of my favourite players, really, in recent years from Maidstone, but He had a good game, really. He did have a pretty decent game. Scored an absolutely outrageous goal. Just lashed at it from the edge of the box, straight into the top right corner. And this was just after we'd gone 3-0 up. And yeah, I mean, that kind of put a dampener on the spirit straight away. Everybody kind of went, oh dear, we've just gone 3-0 up and about 2 minutes after we conceded. So yeah, but we did a very professional job. We did an exceptionally professional job. This is exactly what Hakan and Terry would have got into the team, that, you know, you go out there, you get a lead, you hit them quickly in the second half, because, you know, in the first half, as I said, we did not get people in the box well enough. And that's exactly how we scored all 3 goals. We ran straight through the box with Jack Barham, working his feet well. I do believe it was Jack at least, winning a penalty. And a penalty has finally been scored in the league. Unfortunately for Jack, despite winning it, I do think, he has missed his last couple, I do believe, in the league. Alabi missed one in pre-season as well. And it did seem it was Regan Booty's time to step up and tuck one away, and that he did, straight into the top corner, of course, on his favoured left foot, the top right, shooting across himself, and it was a great penalty. And that really set the standard for the rest of the game. Just a minute or two later, we bombed straight down that right-hand side again. This time, Christy Patterson working his magic, getting a fantastic ball in across the 6-yard box, and who else but Super Jackie Barham to be there, finish the goal off. Great as well. And Bivesh Gurung again, you know, another appearance for him, another start, 2 in a row now, and he's managed to pick up his first senior goal for the club. Great news for him, great news for us as Maidstone fans, great news for the management team, that they've had this player sitting there this whole time who potentially there was questions over his ability. You know, I think last season we see some very good things from him, but I don't think he was quite far enough along that, you know, professional development. He's still a very young player. I think he might be about 20 now. Just trying to calculate, because, again, you might have seen me tweeting yesterday, jokingly, I must say, about trying to get a claim to fame, because he batted my 6-side team once and I was a couple of school years above him. But yeah, I think he's about 20 years old, maybe 19, something like that. But he's got a very mature head on his shoulders. You know, it's been said in articles and things and interviews that he trains very well. Hakan said that he trains just how he plays, very high intensity, always looking to improve, always looking to impress. And that's exactly what you want from a young player who's trying to get into this team. And his opportunity is now. Dom Adesanya, Henry Woods have not had the brightest start to the season. I don't think they've necessarily been bad or terrible, but they might not have hit the ground running how they would have hoped, or the team would have hoped. And Bivesh has seen this, and he's gone, you know, there's 4 senior players there. As soon as my opportunity comes along to get into the team, I need to show my stuff. And he did that versus Torquay. That earned him a start versus Aldershot. He got a goal, played a great game, and he did end up getting subbed off, I do believe, towards the end for Dom Adesanya, I think it was. But for me, another great performance from him. Good performance from Yusuf Mersin. Gavin Hoyt actually really impressed me as well, down the left-hand side for Maidstone, getting forward quite a lot, doing great defensive work against some really fast forwards for Aldershot. And the reintroduction of Sam Corn was fantastic to see. A couple games missed, of course, due to that descent suspension. And yeah, it was great. It was really great to see him in there. Bivesh, Booty, Corn worked out really well as a midfield. Good balance in there. Bivesh kind of sweeping up, high energy, getting around, you know, blocking, intercepting, winning duels, which is what you want to see, especially from a younger player. And, you know, showing that fuel, that fire to kind of spur the team on. Booty, his passing range, he's my man of the match, by the way, Regan Booty. The passing is just an absolute marvel. It's so good to see just someone who can just pick up a ball and just telepathy. He knows they're out there. He knows Josh Farwell was running that line. He knows Christy Patterson's running that line. And every time he got the ball yesterday, it was boom, laser beam, straight to him. And, you know, a couple times we did get caught out because, unfortunately, the forward's touch wasn't, you know, as good as it could have been. But plenty of times it set us on our way. Josh Farwell, of course, with his first start for the club as well yesterday versus Aldershot. Really impressed by him. A great runner, a lot of pace. Quite good with his feet as well. I think he was quite unlucky not to get a penalty. I think it was him anyway. I can't remember who was playing on the wing at that time, but yeah, a really good game from him, quite impactful. Got about, applied the pressure to that defensive line of Aldershot, and Christy Patterson picked himself up 2 assists. As I say, Regan Booty spraying balls out to that right hand side, allow Christy to just run that line pretty much all game, and it worked out really well in the end for us. 2 great runs, balls into the box as well, and allowing Bivesh and Barham to pick up a goal each in that game. So another really important thing for me as well is that, you know, looking at last season and where our goals came from, there was only really 3 people who picked up a considerable amount of goals last season. Sam Corn, I think, got 9. I think Barham ended up getting 16, 18, something like that. And then Luca, I think, ended up getting like 23, something stupid like that. And, you know, with Luca out the side for as long as he's going to be out, you kind of have to ask yourself, where are these goals going to come from? Are the players we had last season going to be able to step up? Christy Patterson, you know, at times his end product wasn't amazing last year, so we're going to need to see him step up, and he has. And then, you know, the new signings coming in, James Alabi, Josh Fowell, are these players going to be able to step up, really impress, really cut it in the National League? They are. You know, James Alabi scored the winner for us coming off the bench versus Torquay, looked impactful against Altrincham when he did play as well, and against Wrexham. So it does look like that, although these signings have not set the world alight, there's something there. And these players, you know, I was talking to someone and said before the game yesterday, when the lineup was released, that this lineup looks like something we're trial running in a pre-season match. We've got new signing Jack Cordy at centre-back. We've got Gavin Hoyt at left-back, George Fowler at right-back. We've got Bivesh Gurung, who played about 5 sub-appearances last season, starting in the midfield in the National League. We've got Josh Fowler, a new signing, who plays up front but can play on the wing. We've got Christy Patterson, our impact player off the bench from last season, starting on the wing. And, you know, for me, it was really confusing to see that lineup. And the fact that we've started that lineup, who, you know, with players who many people would consider, including myself, really, if I'm being honest, second strength players. Unfortunately, you know, for them, we've got some great quality players in the squad who are missing at the moment. But they've done themselves justice this weekend. You know, 6 points from 6, 2 good performances, professional jobs. Christy Patterson, finally, you know, that end product is coming. I'd love to see him get a few more goals because he gets in some great positions. Against Dorking, he did really, really well, but unfortunately couldn't score a couple of the chances he did have. He did get a goal in that game, of course, but I'd just like to see a little bit more kind of cutting edge from him. I think if he can pick up 8 to 10 goals this season, I'd be really impressed with that. I think that'd be fantastic. But yeah, you know, we've got these players who've come in who had some question marks over them and they've turned up. So really impressed by that. Really impressed by the professional job that we did after they did get one back straight after we scored. Because, you know, at 3-0, the complacency can set in despite it being in such quick succession, those 3 goals. And then they get one back almost, you know, a couple minutes after we've gone 3-0 up. And the panic can set in. You can kind of go, well, we were 3-0 up just 2 minutes ago, and we thought they were down and out. You know, we scored 3 goals, 5 minutes. It looked like they had nothing left, and they've still come and got one back. And we saw out the end of the game really well. In the end, set us up really well for the Gateshead game at the weekend. Hopefully the boys can have a good rest. You know, it's been an incredibly busy weekend for them. A bit of travelling included as well. So, you know, it's going to be a big game against Gateshead at the weekend. I think it's about a 600-700 mile round trip, something stupid like that. So hopefully the boys can get out there a day early, get all their prep in, be really comfortable for that game, and take advantage of the fact that Gateshead are yet to win 5 games. I think they've got 3 draws and 2 losses, something like that, maybe 4 draws and a loss. So it's not looking great for Gateshead at the moment. Of course, they've lost their big scorers from last year to Notts County. So hopefully we can go there and take advantage of them and get even further up that table. You know, 10 points in, 6 games, I think. A lot better than I was expecting. A lot better than many people that I know were expecting. So hopefully, you know, if we can keep this up, we're going to do really well this season. But September is the true test for me. You know, this upcoming month, September is going to be really, really a struggle. We've got teams in there who are, fighting for that title. I think we're playing Chesterfield. We've got, I think we're going to be playing a lot of playoff contenders as well. I think we've got Solihull Moors coming up as well. So it's going to be a really, really tough month. This is where we've got to get behind the team, because looking at this game coming up, Gateshead is probably going to be our last game for a while, in which 3 points is something we can expect to come away with. If we can do well against teams like Solihull at home, Chesterfield as well, Bromley, we're playing away as well. If we can pick up a point in those games or something like that, that's a really good sign. So hopefully we can get through September after 3 points at Gateshead, fingers crossed, and that'll give me some good videos to bring you in the coming weeks and months. So thank you all for watching this review, of course, of the bank holiday weekend fixtures. If you did like it, do drop us a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel down below as well. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.